Mic check. Mic chickity. Chick, chick. Chick, chick, chick. What's up, my party people? Coming at you live, week 10. It's your commissioner, your boy, Birdman Jr., a.k.a. King Goffrey. You know what you're talking about. That boy, number one quarterback in the league last week. Just doing big things, throwing 4 touchdowns. He's just doing things. So, we got a good week ahead of us, folks. Some shit happened last week. We had some shit happen today. Man, what an exciting time for fantasy football. Last week, the middle just got bigger. Everybody's getting crunched up. This is always what happens. You have a team with 7 wins. 4 teams with 6 wins. 2 teams with 5 wins. 2 teams with 4 wins. And there's 4 teams with 3 wins. Really, the only team that's out of it is Adam. Adam, you got 2 wins. Even if you win the next 4 weeks, you'd have a losing record. And I don't think 6 wins is enough to get into our playoffs. Mainly because 5 teams already have 6 wins and more. So, without further ado, let's get into the fun stuff that happened in our transaction log. We had some trades, people. We got some people moving around. Jarvis Landry and Devonta Parker. That was a fun one. Hey, Matt Martin and Logan Brown, how about y'all read the rules so you don't make my job harder? That'd be nice. Matt Martin also moves from LaShawn McCoy. Not really sure about that trade yet. Maybe he thinks LaShawn's going to die, and that'd be pretty good trade to get rid of. But I'm really surprised that a gentleman like Shady has traded so many hands. It's very, very interesting to me. But that's the fun part about fantasy football. People move around. Instead of doing a normal week, I was going to do some breakdowns of these teams. Please forgive my child in the background. He's getting his early dinner right now, as I wish I could be doing, but, it doesn't work like that. So I was going to break down teams and just see what we're working with. Team 1, Matt Medley, just took a fresh loss, got his ass beat with all his players on bye, but that's expected when your group, your main group is on bye week. He's got him back this week. Matt pretty much has Carson Wentz, who's on straight fire. Weird, he's the number 1 quarterback in the league this year, which means straight fire. He's having to play Ryan Fitzpatrick this week. It's not a big deal. But let's go through the heart of his team. Got Carson Wentz, great quarterback. Obviously, the main reason he's where he's at right now. There's no no worries there. Carlos Hyde, he's doing things, man. Seventh running back in the league right now. He's had kind of a little. Honestly, he's had a pretty steady season. Without even looking at his stats, he really hasn't had one bad game against Indy, and then he kind of sucked against Philly, but kind of everybody is. But everything else, he's been pretty consistent. Jerick McKinnon, who was the better Vikings running back to grab after Cook, that's a pretty steady guy. It's a good RB2 to have. Jordy Nelson was the reason Matt got to number 1, but Jordy Nelson is no longer a wide receiver. I don't know if he's a wide receiver 3 even. That's an ugly situation. Ted Ginn Jr. has been doing pretty good the last couple weeks. Gronk, I don't need to explain Gronk. Kelvin Benjamin, that's going to be a tricky one. Kelvin Benjamin is going to be a huge factor for Matt, in my opinion. He's either going to make Matt competitive or he's not going to be very good with his new team. And this team could be in trouble for a lot of reasons. Most of the reasons involve his main pieces after Gronk are kind of bad, aren't reliable. Before I really go any further, I would like to state in all fairness that nobody's team is well balanced. All these teams are pretty tough and have gaps and holes in the talent because we have 14 people in this league and it's hard to put a team together. But I don't like his running backs. I don't like his receivers. He's got the best quarterback right now after Deshaun Watson died, and Gronkowski's a beast. So unless his defense is going to be dropping like 30 points a week, Matt's team is in trouble. He should get in the playoffs. He's got 7 wins already. Yeah. Let's go on the next one. I'll do matchups real quick at the end. Got Michael Frey, number 2 team right now. He's got a great stack with Big Ben and Antonio, and that's because Big Ben hasn't even been playing good. 24th ranked QB right now. That is garbage for Big Ben, and there's signs of very good positive regression, as I like to call it. Kareem Hunt has been kind of dipping. He's still a solid running back, and he's getting a lot of work. Last week people were bitching hard about. He still had 6 points. Like, that's better than most of these other running backs that you're getting and having to start. Chris McCaffrey has got a huge bump in workload with Chase Duke kind of sucking. They ship off Benjamin. Olsen's gone for a little bit longer. I don't know. Whitey's going to be all right for a little bit. Marvin Jones, 6th ranked receiver, people. Holy smokes. That is a huge reason why Michael's making it. That's a piece that she wasn't really relying on, who's doing really well. It's got to be happy about that performance. But after that, it kind of falls off. Like I said, why do you still have David Johnson on your bench, sir? Don't you know that he already was deemed out for the rest of the season? It's really nothing else you got to analyze. He's carrying 2 kickers on his team. That's a pretty savage move. That's just really telling us how much we suck because he doesn't even have to drop his kicker. After that, that's about all we got with Mike. This is a solid team. This team will make the playoffs. Ball on the backs of the 2 receivers, the 2 running backs, and Big Ben get a bounce back. I like this team. Next team on the list is Ease It In, Don't Force It. I think he's talking about penises. I like it. This is my pick for the Super Bowl. Oh, Jesus, no it's not. This is Stephen Frey. Sorry, Pete. Peter's my pick for the Super Bowl. Bitches. Peter, I love you. All right, next team. I blew it. All these teams are 6-3. They're both 6-3. So, next team is Stephen Frey, the brother. Weird. These Frey boys are just you guys are getting in the danger zone of collusion. I don't know how, but your freaking brother and you're doing it. I'm on to you. Kirk Cousins, guy can suck a fat dick. He's having an okay season. I don't know how, because all his receivers blow. Lev Bell, doesn't that just make you smile? Lamar Miller, he had 9 points against the Colts. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know what now. It's Lev Bell for Steven, and then it just nosedives. The Packers running backs are dog shit. The Houston running backs are dog shit. Looks like he grabbed Rob Kelly. Good luck with that. Alex Collins, good luck with that. Yeah, Steven's bench is all dog shit. This is very clean. He's been doing great this season because of those players we just named. We're talking about Lamar Miller, the Packers running backs. Those guys are gone. They're useless. You have Kirk Cousins. You have Lev Bell. Lev Bell will do a lot of covering for bad players because he's just that good, and he gets fed, of course. Emmanuel Sanders. Who's Paxton Lynch? I guess that might get you 5 points a game. Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he's going to be good. Word on the street is Marty McBride's back at practice, bro. I might be a little nervous about that. Evan Ingram, who's doing really well. Very clutch tight end this year, especially for such a shitty landscaping for tight ends. And Jags defense putting up big numbers, far and away. Too many points for defenses. We're going to have to look at that in the offseason, but nothing you can do about it now. You guys suck it up, Buttercup. Stevens running on Kirk, Lev Bell, and the Jags defense, and a little bit of Juju. I'm talking bad. I like his team. It should be able to win a couple more games, get in the playoffs. I don't think it will be strong enough to win a Super Bowl, but hey, got to make the playoffs first. Next team is Peter Maldonado, Tyrese of Bigfoot's Dak. It'd be cool if he had Reek Hill on his team, but he doesn't, so the name's kind of irrelevant. He does have Dak Prescott, who's pretty solid. I like his picture. 60% of the time it works every time. Right now it's working better than 60%. Pete, you're 6-3, son. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like 67%. I had to go back and do the math. Sorry. I'm not that smart. Dak Prescott, savage. Alex Smith, savage. It doesn't matter who he's using. That's a 2 and 4 quarterback this year, people. Running quarterbacks that are on powerful offenses and are doing well. That position is going to hold up good. Mark Ingram. Woo, boy, that guy's good right now. Jordan Howard. Woo, that boy's doing just fine. I am super impressed. This is a call I don't think I've admitted in public yet. I was not high on Jordan Howard. I don't think I would have ever got him, even if he came back. Maybe if he came back to me like the 3rd round. But I was not. I was all about him just busting balls and sucking a fatty this year. But he's doing good. Big reason why Peter's where he's at. This is crazy. Julio Jones isn't even a top 15 receiver this year. And that's what Peter's team is so scary. I feel like Julio Jones has room to get better and can definitely mean Peter's team just increases in talent. Or excuse me, in production. Robbie Anderson's a weird receiver that's been just kind of consistent on that shitty Jets team who continues to score points. Jack Doyle, just fine as a tight end. This is kind of where Peter's team falls apart a little bit. He doesn't really have a great flex option. And I'm not even going to read these names because they're not worth it. The Steelers' defense is what he's looking at. That's what he's got rostered. But, who cares really about defenses unless they're, like, dropping 20. And there's no way to predict that. Yeah, Peter's team. I mean, you got the first 4 guys, Dak, Ingram, Howard, Julio. That is a solid core. All those guys can put up big numbers, and they have been this year. Is the main reason Peter's 6-3. This team will be in the playoffs. And I can see him doing pretty solid. Next one, Roy Salinas. This is the 5th ranked team in our league. Forte-inch Ditka. I like it. It's a play on a player's that means he's got a big dick. Get it? Josh McCown, or I guess Matt Ryan's his normal quarterback. Interesting. Benching Matt Ryan this week for McCown. I like it. I like the bold call, sir. Big Melly Smelly. I love him. Doing good. Fournette's doing good. This is the reason why Broly's where he's at. Receivers are trash. Or are they not? Alshon Jeffrey and Michael Crabtree would never have been able to predict them being where they're at. Doing really good. Also on bye. Eagles and Jared Cook. Solid options. This team has just enough and just enough to get it done every week. And I see it being in the playoffs unless there's some crazy kind of injury. There's no reason why this team can't make noise in the playoffs. I like it. Matt Ryan, I think, has a better second half of the season. Melvin Gordon, Fournette continue to dominate. Alshon Jeffrey and Michael Crabtree. Alshon's on the best offense right now, seems like, in the NFL. And Michael Crabtree, all he has to do is be a receiver, too, which he's doing way better than that this year so far. Wow, the number 5 ranked receiver has 84 points. Holy shit. The number 5 running back has 124. Think about that for a second. It's a lot of points, people. Math. Seems in the playoffs. Mark it down. So far, I got, weird, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. All 5 teams with 6 wins or more in the playoffs. What does that mean? That means Jamie doesn't know shit because I think mathematically some of those teams have to get knocked out, right? Because don't some of those still have to play each other? Anyway. Next one. These next ones go pretty quick because it's going to start getting ugly fast. Logan Brown sitting here pretty at 6th. Making the playoffs as of right now. Drew Brees, he's going to be just fine. Like it. Zeke Elliott, will he play or will he go? I think he's playing this week from what I understand on my medias that I follow. Even if they come down with a decision, there's not going to be enough time to make a ruling, and he should be able to be in the lineup this week, which is very good for Logan. Latavius Murray, don't care. He sucks, especially on a shitty Minnesota team, offensive-wise. A.J. Green, I don't know how he's not suspended, but, God, he's the 8th ranked. He just seems like he's been so bad, but I don't know. A.J. Green's weird. The landscape this year is just so hard to get your mind around. A.J. Green, stud. Got to start him every week. He's got a good matchup with Tennessee. Adam Thielen, kind of forget about this dude, but he's had some good weeks and bad weeks. Has a tough matchup against Washington. Eric Ebron, he's just as good as any of the other Flyers, especially with Travis Kelce. Oh, that's what I'm going to look at. Kelsey's the stud here. Huge reason why Logan's where he's at. #1 ranked tight end. That's just a huge positional advantage when your tight end can drop an average of 10 points a game. That is just crazy. I think Peter started as tight end and had 0 last week. I mean, that's just a huge advantage, especially with this league and how many people we have in it. After that, he really doesn't have anybody else that's worth anything. Devonta Parker might have a good second half of the season. We'll see how he comes back from his injury. This team's on the bubble. Next one, Blake Lives Matter. CJ Ariano is 7th ranked in our league. Tom Brady, yummy. Brandon Cooks, yummy. Probably the second best stack, at least since I've been reading. Those guys are pretty sexy, especially if they get it going. You got Devonta Freeman. This guy's been hard to gauge, man. Started off really hot this season. It's been kind of a downer. I think a lot of that is just the Falcons. Excuse me. Falcons have been ugly, just as a whole. Falcons, Titans, Raiders. Ugh. And those are teams I'm naming that shouldn't be that bad. They're staying healthy and they just suck at fatty. Frank Gore, somehow he's the 18th, which is hilarious. Somehow he's gonna get to the 12th, and that's just his money spot. Will Fuller, ooh, that's a brave call. But like I said, this landscape of players is just rough. He's got Richard, Jeremy Macklin's on bye, Kenny Stills, LeGarrette Blount, probably useless now that Ajayi's in Philly. Jason Witten, solid as they come. Always a good option, especially if some of the receivers are banged up for Dallas for a little while. That might be good. Danny Amendola. Oh man, I love the freaking stack. He's got all the Patriots options. Yeah, this team is I'm not in love with it. It's got enough wins right now, 5 wins, winning record, which is a lot for our league. Like I said, it's gonna start getting murky. I'm not in love with this team, but it's gonna have to have some luck. Meaning the Patriots probably have to go full ham and eggs for this team to make the playoffs. I don't see it happening, but he's in a position to win some games and make the playoffs. Next team's a fun one. Can you Diggs it? Of course, play on Stephon Diggs, who's been hurt for most of the season after his crazy start. This team's ranked 8th. Beautiful Russell Wilson. Joe Mixon, does he get it going? I don't know because that team's a dumpster fire. Rex Burkhead. Well, Rex Burkhead's not a main guy. Jai, that's a fun one for Eli. I know he's excited about it. Jai should be pretty good the second half of the season, and he's going to need him if he wants to make the playoff run. You got Mike Evans, Dez Bryant, and Stephon Diggs. That is a trio of receivers that you would think, especially at the beginning of this year, would be sexy. But it hasn't really come to fruition. Dez and Mike Evans have not really played consistently enough to make this team as good as it should be. This team's been constructed very well if you look at it on paper, even with Jordan Reed, but it just can't get it done. Yeah, that's a toughie, dude. This is a toughie. Eli's team is on the bubble as well, 4-5. It didn't take many wins to get back in that mix, maybe sneak in the playoffs. He's got the players, he's got the talented players to do it, but they need to perform better than they're performing right now. Jesus, there's a lot of Freeman action going on. Next one. Nigga, what the fuck? Oh, I was like, damn, I missed my damn team. That's all bold and shit. Next team, 4-5. All hail King Goffrey. Love it. My new starting quarterback, Jared Goff. Good Lord. Jesus Christ. Can't perform a fucking thing around here. Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, best quarterback running back duo in the league, hands down. This team has been pretty shitty. DeMarco Murray hadn't done shit all year. Tevin Coleman's been poopy because the Falcons have been poopy. Keenan Allen, Larry Fitzgerald, underwhelming as shit. Keenan Allen is bound for maybe a bounce back this back half. Larry Fitzgerald's done with Carson gone. Maybe Marquise Lee does something. Corey Davis. I got a couple flyers that let's get down to brass tacks.
Can you hear me now?
The only way I'm making the playoffs is if my Flyers decide to go ham. Other than that, I'm fucked. Fully fucked. Just all the way fucked. But anyway, that's fun. This team on the bubble, 2-game winning streak. I like his chances to win this week against CJ. And which, that happens. Stuff gets interesting. Maybe I get lucky. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't see my team making the playoffs. Next team, picked to last, which is Matt Martin, of course, the gentleman that's been trading away all his players for pennies on the dollar. Marcus Mariota is his new quarterback. Don't really like him this year because he's been sucking. And don't care for him this week really much either. Orleans Darkwa, Doug Martin, don't care. Those are just shitty options. Golden Tate, Jarvis Landry, also shitty options. Matt Forte, probably his best talented player, but he had a good week last week, right? But what are we gonna do there? On his bench, Mohamed Sanu's been okay. Yeah, this team's pretty bad all the way through. His best player was Shady, and he got rid of him. And yeah, so after that, there's really not much to talk about. This team is like a team of misfits. That's what his team name should be. Not picked last. It should be going to get last with my shitty team. Demarius Targaryen, fun name. I got you on the Game of Thrones. Love it. This team got super good all of a sudden. You got Cam Newton last week. Pretty good pickup for him. LaShawn McCoy, savage running back. Just had one bad week, dude. How you gonna get rid of a guy after one bad week? The guy's a fucking animal. Shady McCoy. His nickname is Shady, Matt. Jesus Christ. Maybe next year you come to the draft and people will help you instead of doing what you're doing. I'm talking shit. I'm one win better. Love it. C.J. Anderson, newly acquired. I think both of us were just tired of our shitty running backs, and we just made an easy trade. This team has been underperforming as well. Drafted very well. I love this team at time of draft. But, oh, man, you lose your number one running back in the first game. Your receivers aren't performing like they should be. And pretty quick you add up to a losing record so far. Demaryius Thomas has to play better but can't because he has a shitty team. Michael Thomas has not been getting the love. Drew Brees, weird, spreads the ball around. Duh. Deshaun Jackson, newly acquired. Don't care. Zach Ertz is really good. Number 2 tight end in the league, man. Sexy. Also newly acquired is Amari Cooper. That's pretty sexy. Maybe. I don't know. He hasn't been sexy so far. He had one good game against Kansas City. That was about it. I don't see this team making the playoffs. It's too far behind. There's too much that has to happen. It's not looking good. Uncle Tai Tai's Daycare, our currently 12th ranked team. Tyrod Taylor, wow. T-Mobile Taylor, like him. Chris Thompson, doing pretty good for a scatty bat. AP all day, doing pretty good. Doug Baldwin, weird. Seahawks are picking it up in the second half of the season. He's starting to come into form. John Brown, nah. ASJ, pretty solid. I like him. Damian Williams, maybe that guy does some good. Between John Brown and Damian Williams, I'm sure Lynch and Tyreek Hill are usual starters. Those guys seem to be okay. Reek Hill's a third-ranked running receiver. That is crazy. For as inconsistent as he is. This Tyler actually has a team to get in the mix, but a lot of good stuff has to happen. He's got some players now. He has a decent team. But this week's matchups don't look very sexy for him as I'm looking at his lineup here. And if he loses this week, it's completely over. I don't think, like I said, a 6-7 record is not going to do it. I think you're going to have at least 7 wins. That said, we'll move on to the next team. Lucky Legend, Chancho Messick, 13th ranked, 3-6. Matt Stafford, Derrick Henry, who sucks, just like DeMarco Murray. Alvin Kamara, super sexy, like better than Kareem Hunt. Sexy. Devin Funchess, like better than the rest of the season. I love it. It makes me hard. Devin Funchess, Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, whatever. Terrell Pryor sucks. Like bad. Hunter Henry, you fucking cocksucker. I drafted you with so high hopes. Look at that. God dang. What a goosey. Sean's only hope. Does he have 3 wins too? Hey, look, Sean getting W's, man. I like it. Sean's only hope is like Hunter Henry, Terrell Pryor, Josh Gordon go like full ham sandwich, and he needs to start him, and then maybe he just wins out and gets to 7-6. That would be probably pretty cool for Sean. I bet he'd be super happy about that. The chance of that actually happening, low. It's just the way that the world works sometimes. Getting to a 3-6 record is pretty detrimental. Even a 4-5 record isn't much better. It's pretty damn tough. And with that being said, I don't know if Sean has much chance. I don't see it. I think Tyler's team is the only one out of that 3-6 group that has a chance to make it. Last team, but not least, my favorite Brown between the two that are playing. Just kidding. I love you guys. I answered the phone today as Jamie Brown just because I just wanted to be a Brown for one day. Logan knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Phillip Rivers, Kenyon Drake, who cares? Dion Lewis, who cares? Nuke, T.Y. Hilton. Didn't he have another guy? Oh, yeah, Cooper. He traded him. Devonta Adams, no one cares. This team's in trouble. Obviously, it's over for Adam. It's like fucking over. The only thing Adam can do right now is play spoiler and ruin some people's hopes, which I think I get to play Adam sometime here in the future. And if that's the case, I can almost guarantee. Oh no, I already played Adam. Wait, did I already play Adam? Oh no, I play Adam week 13. How about this? I almost guarantee Adam beats me week 13, and I miss the playoffs. Love it. So with that wrapped up, I'm thinking Matt, Mike, Steven, Peter, Rolly, shoe them in for playoffs. Lock it down. The 6 spots up for grab between Logan, CJ, Eli, Jamie, and Tyler Hilton. I don't really know. It's hard to really pick a player out of that. I can almost guarantee if Zeke is out for a suspension, Logan will not be in the mix. I don't really see CJ's team being able to pull through. So I kind of think it's between Eli and myself. And most of that's me being optimistic about some of my flyers, so I realize I'm biased. But Eli's team probably has the best chance of doing it with his pieces. They are just talented and are due for comebacks. There's only so many freaking weeks you can keep down Des Bryant and Mike Evans and Jay Ajayi now and Russell Wilson. There's just a lot of names on there that should be playing better. So if I had to put money on it, I'd say Eli. But seeing CJ, Eli, Jamie, and Tyler Hilton, I think those guys will be the 6th spot. One of those. All right, that was fun. Let's do just a quick rundown of matchups, really quick. I'll just do quick winners. CJ and Jamie battle off this week. CJ doesn't have his lineup set, but I have a fun feeling that I'm just going to get lucky and Jamie wins. New England's going to Denver, man. That's got to be something, right? Oh, fucking come on, Denver. Come on, dude. Adam faces Matt Martin. The line's pretty close. Matt Martin's favored by 7. And I think Matt Martin's going to win this week. Steven is facing Logan. Huge battle. And this is what I'm talking about, these middle players, these guys with 6 wins and 5 wins. They still got to play each other, man. Shit's going to get interesting. Steven and Logan, line is projected at 93 or 94 for Steven, 90 for Logan. It's pretty simple. If Zeke plays, this game's a lot more interesting. I still think Frey wins and gets to 7-3. Tyler Hilton and Eli Pettis. Just talked about both those teams being close. This line's close. Eli might be in trouble without J.H.I. this week, and I think Tyler gets a W. Michael Frey and Chalupa Batman. 2 good teams. Only one of them's good. Michael Frey takes this. Big Ben has a good bounce back week. Gets a good stack. I think like 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown. No big deal. Rolly goes against Sean. Good fun matchup. Sean's in trouble with his players just not being as good as Rolly's. Rolly's got Fournette and Melvin back this week. Rolly takes care of business. Peter goes against Matt. This is easily a matchup of the week, based on record. Matt's team is not good. I'm telling you, man. Peter's going to take this easy. Peter gets to 7 wins. Matt goes down to 3 losses. And I think there's going to be a changing tide here, people. Matt, I'm predicting it, dude. You're gonna get in the playoffs at like 8-5 or 7-6, and that means you're gonna have a lot of L's in the next couple of weeks. So, with all this said, it's been 30 minutes. It's a long time, but I just kind of felt like I wanted to change it up a little bit, talk some breakdown, nuts and bolts on like what's going on in the landscape of the league and shit. You know what I'm talking about? We got a pretty big screw up today in our league with how rules are interpreted, and I don't like being, a mean commissioner, but when you guys don't follow rules, it's really, really frustrating. Logan, I don't give a shit about you getting close to a deal with Zeke. What almost didn't happen is nothing because nothing happened. Drew Brees, Zeke Elliott, and Denver D for Tom Brady and Devonta Freeman. Good for you. Wait, what? Yeah. I don't think it really would have mattered. I don't think it would have mattered a bit. Anyway, nothing happened. It's fun trade talking. Trade talk's over. Deadline's over. We will have some stuff to discuss. I'm going to write down some stuff on the notebook for this off season. One of it is defensive scoring. I realize there may be a flaw in our thinking. The other is